Hell nah, I ain't sleep today, but I'ma be okay. Miss my family on the east, but fuck it, I can't.
What is up, YouTube? Zukium1 here, and I am back with a brand new YouTube video. Today, I'm bringing you guys a very special League of Legends video. Today, I wanted to go and give an example on what you want to try to do when you play Azir, and so I thought I'd go into a training match and just really illustrate the different types of techniques that you want to use with him. So the runes that I use for him, so my starting items with Azir is either a Dark Seal or a Dorian's Ring. Now, it depends on the matchup, right? If you are in a very difficult matchup against a laner that you don't want to fight against, right? Something that you know is going to be difficult, like Zed or Talia, you might want to start off with your Dorian Ring. If it's a matchup that you feel confident in, something that you feel like you can actually get ahead in, then take a Dark Seal. The reason why I preferably take Dark Seal is because unlike Dorian's Ring, Dark Seal can get stronger with you if you collect kills in lane. Even if those are assists, you can still get more AP. So it helps you scale with the item. Whereas the Dorian's Ring, the base stats is all you get. There's nothing more that you get to it. So, come on, man, I'm recording. Don't do that. Anyways, so that's what I normally like to do as starting items. You're defaultly going to be stuck with your starting ability, which is the soldiers. Now, with the soldiers, you're responsible for trying to do a specific amount of things, right? So at level 1, you're really trying to. There's not really too much that a person can do, right? So you want to last hit with your auto attacks, and when someone gets close enough, right? So your minions are right here, right? Minions right here. When they get close enough, you want to bring up a soldier right there and now auto attack them. They're gonna have to take that, right? And then when you hit level 2, it gets even worse of harassment, right? So when they get even closer, you just summon the soldier, auto attack, Q, auto attack, and that'll proc your execution if you got it. It'll proc your arcane comic if you have it as well. So those are really good things to know, right? The harassment in lane is some of the most important tips that you can have as an Azir player, because it helps you be able to establish your presence in lane, and it either forces them out of lane or calls for a gank. Now, while you're constantly harassing them, right, you're going to get ganked a lot, right? So vision is super important for Azir. Like with other characters, you might be able to get away with not warning as frequently, but when you play a character like Azir who's constantly poking people, you're going to either force people out of lane a lot, or they're going to call for the jungler a lot to come and gank. If that is the case, you're going to have to make sure that you have your ward up at all times. Otherwise, you won't be able to, you won't stop the ganks, and you'll fall behind. And if you fall behind, you won't be able to help out anybody. So, around level 3 is where his kit gets really interesting, right? So, there are 2 things you can do with Azir when he gets level 3, right? So, you can summon a soldier, dash to the soldier, and then press Q to get a further distance, right? So, in case that might be a little confusing, right? You wanna summon the soldier first. How do I refresh? Cool down. Okay. Now, you want to summon your soldier. When you summon your soldier, you want to back up a little bit and then dash through it and then press your Q. When you press your Q, it'll make it go further than where you would initially go, because this is how far you normally go, right? But you can tell the soldier, you can dash to the soldier and then go further than what you would have normally done. Now, it's a little difficult to be able to just do it like consistently, because that's called like a Shurima shuffle, right? So you want to summon your soldier, and when they get close enough, you want to dash and then dash into them, and then you'll get 2 more soldiers for doing that, and then you'll proc your 3 soldier auto attack, and then you can really go into some really devastating plays. So again, you want to summon your soldier. They're gonna try to stay away from you as far as possible because you've been poking them throughout the game, right? So because they're staying away from you, that's when you can take the initiative. So you can dash, and well, sometimes the Q doesn't come out depending on how you did it. So right there, I didn't press Q in time before before I dashed to the soldier. Yeah, so it's a little tricky. It takes a little timing. But eventually you'll get used to it. So remember, you want to, when you're using your Q, you want to point in the general direction of where you want your Q to take you. So like how you normally command your soldiers to dash somewhere. How you normally tell your soldiers to dash somewhere is where he normally will go. So if you tell your soldiers to go up here, he's going to take his soldiers in that direction, and when his soldier go in that direction, he will go in that direction too if you're doing the dash. See, so as long as I tell my soldier to go in that direction, he's going to follow. All right, now one of the most important tools for Azir is his Q, is his W, E, Q, O, right? That's like super important. That's like one of the most important kits that he has right there. So what you need to do as an Azir player is 2 ways you can get them, and it depends on the person that you're going against. Because sometimes they can see it, it's telegraphed, and you got to be a little bit more. You have to think about it a little bit more. But you can summon your soldier, dash through Q, and then So remember, you want to dash through the enemy. So dash and go through the enemy, and then boom, right? So that's one option. But sometimes they're not gonna give you that option. So sometimes you got to do this: summon the soldier, dash Q, flat. Oh, sorry. Sometimes you have to summon the soldier, dash Q, and now it's a little tricky for me too. It's like more of a reaction type of thing based on what the character is doing that I'm going against. But you got to summon the soldier, dash Q, flash, and once you flash, you'll be right behind the person, and you press your R right afterwards. So then they can't react to it because it's instant. You instantly do it. So you saw how I barely was able to react to it. The person that you're going against will not be able to react to it whatsoever. So once you do that, you pretty much have his whole entire kit down, right? So that's the laning phase of Azir. Outside the laning phase, what you really want to do is make sure you have people in the front line. So you see these 3 soldiers right here? I mean, you see these 2 spellcaster minions right here? You really want to have these. Imagine these guys being your allies. You want to have these guys in front of you at all times, and you have soldiers right about here. So the more soldiers you can have up is better, right? I didn't even know he could summon that many soldiers. Holy shit. But anywho's, right? You want to have people in front of you at all times. Azir is a very squishy champion, and on top of that, he's a command mage. As much as we like to say like he's a battle mage and he goes into a lot of fights, he's like he can switch up his playstyle, yeah, but his core kit, which is his W and his Q, this all revolves around him being a command mage, just dashing his soldiers to wherever he wants them to go. That's super important. If you can't do this, you won't win fights with Azir at all. Team fights will always be lost there have been so many games where I was 0-2, 0-3, 0-4, and come back as 12 or 16 kills because my positioning with Azir is sublime. And I'm not saying that to like toot myself. I'm saying that because your positioning has to be very important when it comes to Azir. So some tips that you can use when you're fighting with Azir is be behind a wall if you don't have any teammates. Being behind a wall can be kind of tricky for some champions, right? Now, if a champion has a wall dash, then that doesn't mean anything to them. But if they don't, right, like a Lux or a Morgana, they can't get over this wall. So they have to deal with the fact that you have a wall in between them, right? Another tip that you can use when you're fighting with Azir is come over to a really deep wall. Now, this wall is a little bit more trickier for some people to get over. So right here, right, you're perfectly safe. And you got a little bit of distance to do whatever you want. And on top of that, if you want to, you can dash into the fight. So it gives you options, right? You really want to focus on making sure that you keep a safe distance away from you and the enemy team. If you ever get caught out of position, 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to die. There has been a couple of times where I've been able to fight my way out of that, but it's very rare. Like, you have to be really, really far ahead of the enemy team to be able to kill everybody 1v4 or 1v5. Essentially, what you want to do at all times when you're playing Azir is keep a safe distance between you and the enemy. If you keep that distance, no one is going to be able to fight against you because you're going to constantly harass them with these. They're everything. They're everything. They're your whole kit. Remember that. If you don't have a soldier up, you need to back up. The soldiers are your whole kit. That is, I cannot stress that enough. The soldiers is your whole kit. So if you do not utilize your soldiers, then you will not win any games with Azir. These is your entire kit. If you understand that, then you will understand how to play Azir. So, the 3 things that we learned today was how to harass a lane. At level 1, you just only got your soldiers. So whenever they come up to auto attack, you can just summon the soldier and auto attack them. And you can place them wherever you want, but they can't go any further. So at level 2, right, level 2, you can summon the soldier and then dash through and then auto attack them. So remember, the combo is summon a soldier, auto attack, then dash, auto attack, right? At level 3, you want to summon a soldier, auto attack, dash, Q, like that, and then auto attack, and then summon more soldiers. Now that's if you're trying to be aggressive. If not, you can play it safe. You can keep just summoning soldiers, auto attack, dash, auto attack. That's fine. You can do that throughout the entire laning phase if you want to. The other option is if you want to get aggro with your Azir. Because again, like I said before, Azir has multiple playstyles. You can play him however you care to. It's just depending on the playstyle that you pick, you gotta be able to adapt to the situation. So you can't just be like, oh, this is the only playstyle I can do with him, because it's not. Like how Lux is pretty much just a command mage and she don't have too many options. Azir, he is very diverse in his skill sets. He has a dash that can give him a shield if he just dashes away. This shield comes no matter what. So regardless of if I have a or not, I'm gonna get my shield. So I don't even need to hit anybody anymore. I'ma always get my shield. Alright, so it's a cap limit. But you can get up to 6, that's ridiculous. But yeah. There are very important things that you need to know about his kit. His E is super vital to a really good Azir. So this will separate an okay Azir to a good Azir. This shield is going to happen regardless of if you hit somebody or not. if you hit someone, you get an additional soldier. So say you got one soldier, and this is on cooldown, right? If this is on cooldown, if you dash into them, you'll get another soldier. So you can get up to 3 soldiers out at level 3, and then that's going to be a lot of burst damage that they're not going to be able to fight against. If you're running for your life, you can summon a soldier in front of you and then dash. Now I'm in safe distance of my turret. They can't gank me anymore. They can't gank me. You have to remember that. That is super vital. Make sure this stays up, and the only time you ever use this is if you're trying to go for a kill or if you're running for your life. Don't use this just cause. If you use this to kill minions, you will die. So this is super vital. This is your ultimate defensive tool and your ultimate engagement tool. That stops a lot of people from just doing whatever they want. Someone jumps on top of you, get off. Someone trying to get close to you, get off. Someone's within your uncomfortable zone, get off. It gives you that space that you need, and then you summon soldiers and auto attack them for being bad. Don't cross the line. The Emperor is not happy with you crossing the line on him. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Azir. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. This has been Zuki M1, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.